Everybody, welcome to my very first top 10 anime custom cards for Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling Book. So, and all the credit I will get, I don't receive it, but go check out theduellogs. He's a really good friend. And thanks, good duelogs. And now let's get into a custom cards top 10 video. Sorry. So, number 10, in my opinion, is this is a custom card. So, you could see it on screen. Meet Turtle of the City. All these cards that are that has the word turtle in its name belongs to a certain card called Catapult Turtle. So now this for its effects are or stats water level 4 119. Okay? So, and its effect is that when this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon one Catapult Turtle from your deck or graveyard or banish zone or hand to your field in the defense position. So, and for once per turns, like it's supposed to be one. It's supposed to be once per turn, but it's a hard one. So, and then its graveyard effect, like if this card is sent to the grave by battle or by a card effect or by tributing by a card effect, you gain 4,000 life points. Of course, like, oh, I'm gonna summon this and bring out Catapult Turtle, and then it special summons to your field in the defense, and it gains this effect for once per turn. This card can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and it is unaffected by card effects by your opponents. So, basically, summon him first, summon Catapult Turtle second, and then use, like, Catapult Turtle's effect, sends him to the grave, he special summons to the field. Sorry, now, and the friendly Turtle of Helps. When this card is normal, and it special summons like that card, from like anywhere in the to your field. And if you have a Catapult Turtle on the field, or in the graveyard, or banish zone, you can make this card's original attack become infinity by adding one card from your deck or graveyard to your hand until the end of your opponent's next turn. If this card is sent to the grave, like, you can inflict damage equal to the combination of this card, like all that, and then all this, like you could see here. So all these, and a reason why he's a tuner is because there's a synchro monster called Castle of Turtles. It takes like him and like any level 12s, and then adds them up. Boom, you got it. And then now Guardian here before it's like this, and then this one, Guardian of Turtles. You can place a turtle card like these two on top of the deck, okay? And or like on top, and you can like do other things with it. And it's a normal playable card. Okay? So the like it can and like it becomes tripled. So it's like all that stuff. And don't worry about these guys. I was trying to find the right one. Now, that was number 10. Oh, I almost forgot about this guy. Rocket Turtle of Crazy Town. It's basically when it's normal summon, special summon one thing, and it gains this effect of like all that stuff. And number 9. Battle Arena of Storms. There's a combo in that other one. First, this is the like if this card is activated, all monsters gain 100 attack or each draw phase. Basically, your opponent draws one card, or like every time they draw one card, or it gets 2 per draw phase, and plus you can special summon any number of monsters from anywhere. It's basically like I summon Rocket Turtle. How Rocket Turtle summons that and all that stuff. Without having to use your normal summon for a turn. And all your opponent's monsters must attack if able. They lose 100 attack and defense for each end phase. So basically, you gain, or your monsters gain attack, but your opponent's monsters loses attack for each end phase. And I know that sounds broken, but if your opponent destroys by battle or by card effect, this card you take control of it. Basically it's kind of like Monster Reborn or that skeleton dinosaur. I forget his name. I always play him, but he's always like no. So, and it's for once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add all cards from your graveyard, banish them to your deck, and shuffle it. And then inflict 100 damage to your opponent's life points for each card from your deck by this effect. You can only use this effect for once per turn. So basically, like say if you had 20 cards in the graveyard and 10 in the banish zone. Take all those, put them back in the deck. You did like 3 million damage to your opponent. You automatically win the duel. But there's this one, Plans of Flames. This card is pretty powerful if you use it in correct way. It's like summoning conditions, or like when this card is normal or special summons, inflict 100 damage to your opponent for each level that this card has. And plus with so many like level manipulations thing, like you could just give it level 12 and you still win the duel. Plus, if you reuse it every time, you automatically win the duel. If this card attacked by your opponent's monster before damage calculations, you can pay like that and to negate and end their turn. And if you do, destroy all cards from your opponent's field. And then you gain 100 life points for each card both players have graveyards. That one, the B-O, it's supposed to be a O, but my fingers couldn't reach that far. And it's my pointy finger, not the other thing. So then, and banish on this card by this effect. If this card is sent to the grave, you can special summon this card from your graveyard to your field in attack position. If you do, draw 4 cards from your deck to your hand, and then you gain 1,000 life points for each one. So basically, it's supposed to be like once per turn one. Now, and almost forgot about Inferno Dragon. Clash of Clans Inferno Dragon. This one's with those 2 cards could be broken. But there is also another one. Okay? So, you can special summon, or, wait, hold on. Normal summon or special summon. You can add 1 card from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And, you can pay life points to destroy all cards on the field, like Inferno Dragon does in the Clash Royale with that heated beam of his, and then this card attacks twice in battle, and if you do, this card's attack becomes infinity. And it's basically like summons a warrior type when it dies. And it gains this effect of is unaffected by your opponent's card effects and can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. And it gains 100. So like Marauded Captain or there's a combo, see, between this guy and this field spell and this. Your opponent has to attack the plant, and if the plant's the only card on the field, but it's negate all the cards, and if you do, destroy all cards. So basically, full bore wipe thing over and over and over again. But now, number 8 or number 9, I lost count. Hot spice of cooking. So this card is from the spicy archetype from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX series. But I made it my own version of it. So if this card is activated, you can inflict 100 damage to your opponent's life points, and then you gain life points for each once per turn. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon one fire attribute monster from anywhere to your field. In attack position, and its original attack and defense becomes infinity until 4 turns are up. If you do, this card is sent to the deck from the banish zone and shuffle it. And then you draw 2 cards from your deck to your hand. So basically, it's like when you can inflict damage to your opponent, you gain life points equal to your life point. Or something like Flame Guy. And he was like, had spell on there. Now, this one is my own brown spice of beef. It has like some like, it makes all like, you can add to spell cards or anything. But now there's Taco Spice. There's a spell card in the anime that this brown, there was a brown lookalike card. Some cards actually have the ones that like you can add cards to your hand. But this one, you can, and like when it's added to your hand by a card effect, you can activate it instead. If this card is activated, special summon 2 monsters. Your deck or graveyard or banish zone to your field in a set mode. So basically, in a situation, if you want to go for like to empty your opponent's entire hand and yours, go for Jar of Greed or Jar or Morphine Jar. Go for 2 Morphine Jars. Or 1 Morphine Jar and 1 Cyber Jar. And when your opponent attacks like Cyber, or not Cyber, but you do weird combinations. And let's say if your opponent activates a card effect, you can negate it. Like, there was this dude or person that I was playing against. I activated his like graveyard effect, and like banish it, and it like special summons a fire type monster. But he was gonna Ash Blossom me, but I almost forgot about Clash Royale's Inferno Dragon and graveyard effect. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to negate that card effect for 4 turns are up. It is like 1-hit KO. Like, you can push your opponent away. Like, nope, no Ash Blossom today. Only kind. But the it's how it is now. And to wrap up the spice, we have Bot King of Spice. He's was trying to draw the robot with like really big knife. This card can't be normal summon or set. Must be special summoned by sending all Ice's cards, spell cards, and from your graveyard or battlefield to your deck. And if this card is special summoned this way, add one. He is basically a monster with like his effect, like basically chops up your opponent. Like you pay 100 life points to negate all card effects, and if this card on your opponents, and then this card's or opponent's automatic or your opponent's monster is automatically removed from play. That means banish zone. Instead of going to a graveyard, and then this card gains the. It's supposed to be this card gains equal to that banishes monsters' attack points and defense or once per turn. So, like basically, when you use the spell card, like equip spell, to boost him up to about a lot of attack, and go into like attack the Alplas, the Tormentors. So basically, it will be banished instead of sending it to a graveyard. And if this card is sent to the grave, your opponent must send all cards from their field and hand and graveyard and banish zone to the deck and shuffle it. Their deck. And then they draw one card from the top of their deck. And for the rest of the duel, your opponent has just that card that they drawn from your opponent's deck. And then this card is sent to the deck from your graveyard. You can. So basically, this card is pretty powerful against most decks. Because, like, summon that, attack, gains, like, a lot of attack points. But if it's into the grave, my opponent, or, like, your opponent, it can't do stuff. Like, lockdown bird thing. And that's the... Okay, and the ultimate nightmare of the puppets is my number. Like, I'm doing like what's left. This one is a puppet version of like Ultimate Nightmare one. That Ebel Ultimate Nightmare. But this one, you can make this card have infinity attack, and it can, like, you know. And this one, Blue Eyes Red Jar. It's supposed to be the trap card from that they released, that Dragon Jar or whatever that trap card is that Seto Kaiba used, or not Seto Kaiba, Maximilian Pegasus used to steal the Blue Eyes White Dragon from, you know, in the anime. But this one is when this card is normal summon or special summon, pick one card from your deck or graveyard or from your opponent's deck or to be set on your field until 3 turns are up. If you have Blue Eyes White Dragon in your graveyard, you can send this card from your field to the grave, and then your opponent takes damage equal to the combined attack of this card's attack and defense. And if this card is sent to the grave or is in your grave, you can banish this card from your graveyard. You can add all cards from your graveyard, banish them to your deck, shuffle it, and then and draw 5 cards from your deck for once per turn. You can only... So basically, it's like if you choose a card on the field, and the card that I got from a comment from my couple years ago was, you got it, Crazy Carol Pokemon Trainer. This card I try to make broken as like, I haven't seen Pokemon things. Instead of normal draw phase, like you can do all that stuff. And then it's basically like trees. Sorry, I'm just looking. They're like the Choo-Choo Train XYZ monster. That's normal effect monster. But this one can't be used for like tribute, ritual, fusion. It's to the opponent's field. It's because it's supposed to be mixed between that bug one that goes into your deck and the other card. And don't worry about those other ones. So Cyber Healer of Dark World is, it can like basically bring out more monsters. Moving on. And then here go the duel logs. I made the duel logs, Lord of Spiders. Now, and it is pretty broken. And he's a cool guy. And I'm not trying to be mean to him either. But this one is like when it's synchro summon, you can select cards from your deck or graveyard or banish them to your hand. If this card attacks your opponent before damage calculations, you can activate one of these effects. 1 per battle phase. Negate all card effects from your opponent's field and hand. Destroy all cards from your opponent's field, and then you draw same number of destroyed cards. This card can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. If this card is sent to the grave, you can special summon all the synchro materials from anywhere to your field in the defense mode. And then this card is sent to your extra deck from your graveyard, you can only use this effect for once per turn. Basically, it's I'm saying, like, thank you, the theduellogs, and I want you to see the ancient gears. Oh, I almost forgot about this. Dark Fiend Avion. I was gonna say, like, Dark Fiend Elemental Avion, but this one, its effect has it. This card's name becomes Elemental Hero Avion on the field or graveyard. When this card is normal, summon, or special, you can add 3 cards from your deck to your hand. And if this card is used for Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, XYZ, or Link with a monster or monsters, and it gains this effect or once per turn. This card attacks twice or 3 times in battle, and all cards from can't be activated before or after damage calculations. If this card is sent to the grave, you can special summon this card to your field in the defense mode from the graveyard by discarding 2 cards from your deck and treat them as a discard cost cards. So basically, this one is basically like, boom. Like, I can, or you can do like dart with like these cards. So, like, hold on, give me 1 minute. This one, they are treated as their like normal counterparts, and like this one is like treated as Dark Magician on the field. It's Dark Fiend Magician, but it still has like, and then this one, Dark Fiend Knight. This one it's treated as, its name becomes Dark Fiend King, Queen, Jacks, Knight on the field. That's a mouthful. So, and I'll let you read the effect. Okay? And it's pretty cool. And there's also the synchro monster for it. And it's Goddess of Dark Fiends. It is pretty, like, it has a spell card. Sorry. Dark Fiend in Calling. It's pretty weird. But this one, or these ones are pretty cool. And I know everyone would be complaining, hey, that's cards are based off of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Yes, it is. But it's called Blue Eyes Dark Fiend Dragon. It's treated as a Blue Eyes White Dragon on, like, field or graveyard. And when this card is, like, normal, you can add cards, and it's basically, that. And this one, Dark Fiends are scales. It's toss a coin. And this one, or let's do this spell card first. Darkness XYZ. This card is, like, can only be activated by using send all dark fiend monsters from anywhere to your graveyard. And then you can XYZ summon 1 unstoppable dark fiend metals to your field in attack mode. And it also, like, this card right here, Puppet of Darkness, it sends, like, Unstoppable Dark Fiend to the grave, special summons a Link monster called Dark Fiend of Clay. Sorry, I talk so fast. And it has... Hold on, give me 1 minute. Sorry, guys, I can't... And girls. Because Unstoppable Fiend... Or the Dark Fiend cards, this one, is pretty broken. Like, supposed to be broken. And hold on, give me 1 minute. Elemental Hero Cloudy, man, this card is like special summon the Storm Cloud and like do all that stuff. And the Tribute of Opolis, it's basically the same thing, different day. And Evil Hero Rocket Man, do things and special summons. Basically, an ultimate server of Dark World. It's like this, and then it's pretty powerful, if you had to ask me. But not as broken as the nuclear power plant. This card can't be normal summoner set. Must be special summoned by attributing 2 monsters from your graveyard or field to the banner stone. And if this card is summoned this way, you can make this card or the original attack become infinity till end of or until 3 turns are up. And if this card is sent to the grave, special summon 3 zombie type monsters from your anywhere to your field in attack position. And if this card is sent is in your graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to your banish zone to allow you to automatically win the duel. It's once per turn. So basically, you know how like nuclear is. And Toon Jack, Knight of Creepy. Don't worry. It has unique, like, special summons to Toon monsters and... Okay. Then it's supposed to be like Toon World's version of... And Jar of the Dragons is basically if your opponent control or has a dragon, warrior, spellcaster, or divine type monsters on their field or hand or graveyard, your opponent must banish them to the banish zone until this card leaves the field. If this card is sent to the grave, you can special summon your opponent's banish zone to your field in attack mode. So basically, 3 blue eyes white dragons, activate that, send them away, and use like heavy tornado thing to destroy that, and special summon those, use proclamation, fuse them to create Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. and then all that stuff. And this one, questions of infinity. And this one, evil hero destroyer, from the evil hero archetype, is basically elemental hero to Spinatrix, Bubble Man. Must be special summoned by Dark Fusion. And can't be. It's basically like all that. It's basically like. How will I put this? It's basically the evil counterpart of Steam Healer. And then the Nuclear Man takes like special turns and like takes this, bump it up, boom. And then we got Evil Hero Airbreaker 5. It's supposed to be like evil version of like Gold Guy. Not the one that like search out field spell one. The and this card destroys all cards, and if this card is sent, or like it can send one card in your graveyard or in its own or hand to the deck and shuffle it, and then your opponent must send all cards from their hand to the banish zone. If this card is sent to the grave, you can special summon all fusion materials. So, like, basically, 5 or no, 2 Spinatrix, 2 Bubble Mans, and 1 Neos to make it. And this one, I didn't make it. Some random guy did. And it's fused between like the Ebel and Flame Wingman. And Rocket Man. And this card, the Law of the Normal Creepy. I know the theduellogs reviewed it, so I'm reviewing it as mine. It's basically, you can add like Triangle Power and Law of the Normal spell card. Like you can special summon one. You special summon 5 level 1 normal monsters from your graveyard or deck or graveyard or banish zone or hand to your field in a heck mount. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to banish or to skip your opponent's third turn. And if you do, this card and it gets sent to your hand from anywhere. You can only use this effect for once per turn. And Green Warrior. So this is all for now.